Everybody, welcome back to part 2 of our leveling series, where we go through the whole campaign of Path of Exile on a fresh bow character. We have chosen the Duelist as our starting class, and we will be going Slayer. Now, in the first episode, we went through some basic stuff and completed Act 1, went into Act 2, dealt with the bandits and the Weaver quest, I think. Yeah. And unfortunately, I already recorded the second part of the series once. But after uploading it to YouTube and checking the video, I realized that my mic was muted for the whole duration of the video. So what I actually had to do is I leveled up a new character, got to the point where we stopped episode 1 and we're doing episode 2 once again. So let's jump into the game. We have our character sitting ready here. Now this time I actually managed to remember and create it in solo self-found, where I have prepared my stash. As I mentioned, this is just some random pieces that I picked up while leveling this guy. Now I will not be using any of the other stuff as mentioned in the first video, as we are trying to simulate the start of a fresh new league where we struggle for currency, we struggle for items, we try to upgrade our gear. And yeah, so the plan for today is actually going to be to do a little bit of crafting. We will be using a few recipes like this first one, where trying to get a nice physical bow going for us. We will need a blacksmith's whetstone, a rustic sash, preferably a rare one, because this will grant us higher physical damage rolls on our bow. Now we can use this with any weapon, and the second thing we will try to get is our unique quiver. There's actually a recipe for that, and we're gonna need sharp-toothed quivers, rain of arrows with at least one quality, an onyx amulet, and an orb of chance. Now, in order to get a rain of arrows with one quality, we can buy the base gem from the vendor, but vendors do not sell quality gems. So we will need to get a gem cutter's prism, and we obtain that by collecting quality gems, which again, yes, sure, it's a RNG thing if we're going to find any. Maybe we get a gem cutter's prism to drop, which would be super lucky. But if we do not, we can trade quality gems with a combined quality of 40%, sell them to a vendor, and get a gem cutter's prism back, or GCP as they are called. And the third thing we need is an onyx amulet. I think those start dropping around level 20 and become available at vendors. We didn't get lucky in our first playthrough to find one, so there's actually also a recipe for that. We just need one amulet and one gem of each color, so red, green, and blue. We trade those to a vendor and we get an onyx amulet back. So this is the stuff we're going to try and do. I already found 2 quivers that are waiting here. I did the recipe for the onyx amulet already, so I have that ready to go. We only need to make this rare later on, but we have 2 essences that we could use. The only thing missing is the GCP for the rain of arrows with 1% quality, at least. You can use a high one, doesn't matter. But if you cannot find one with quality, this is what we're going to try and do in order to get our unique quiver. Now I'm in Act 2. We have already dealt with the bandits. As in the first episode, we killed them all to get our 2 respec points. Again, just for a recap, if we search, deal with the bandits, which is the name of the quest. Depending on which route you take, if you kill them all, you will get 2 passive skill points. The other thing you could do is help Alira. So you kill Kraton, you kill Oak, but you help Alira in order to get mana regen per second, some global crit strike multi. We do not deal a lot of crits at the moment, so that's not very useful, but the 15% to all elemental resistances can be very helpful in the beginning. So it's up to you. You can change this at any point later on. Here are the recipes for that, so depending on which outcome you want, there is different combination of amulets and 20 regret orbs, where you can basically change the outcome of the quest no matter what you have chosen. As mentioned, for the second lab trial, that is located down here in the crypt. You can also do a quest for a refund point down there. We're going to skip that just in order to speed things up, and the next thing we do after dealing with the bandits, killing the Weaver in Western Forest, we're going to head to Chamber of Sins in order to unlock the passage over here. So let's go to the crossroads and continue. Now, the only difference between the other character and this one is that instead of the decoy totem, I am using a siege ballista. This is just because I don't really have another red link at the moment. I would really like to use decoy. It's super handy at bosses. To get to the Chamber of Sins from this waypoint at Crossroads, we simply head up, follow the road here. We're using Rain of Arrows as our main skill. Let me pick these up. Rustic Sash can always be useful for our vendor recipe. There's 2 rares which I'm going to take down. Now here's a tunic with 3 green sockets. Watch out for these. You can pick up blue stuff in order just to vendor them. But for the most part, we're going to try and focus on rare gear from here on, just to upgrade our pieces. Our amulet is really shit, so we could still watch out for blue jewelry. We found the Stipknight Flask. We already have one of these. Portals, wisdoms. Don't need the other stuff. So as I mentioned, look out for gear that already has linked sockets. You can always transmute them to be rare and maybe change the stats on them once they are rare, once they're magic. Sorry, to reroll the stats with an alteration. This is way cheaper than finding a yellow item like this one and then trying to get sockets on them. So we are prioritizing links on items, as of now at least. So here in Chamber of Sins we're going to try and find, no, we don't need that. Going to try and find the middle part, which is this thing here. So let's just path on to there. Remember to use your blink arrow, it's a nice skill that can speed you up quite a bit. Also it allows you to skip little gaps or height differences, so you can just go up a level. Now here in Chamber of Sins, depending on which side of this round square the waypoint is, it's basically going to tell you how to get to the second level, so we just go straight here and we should find the second level. Let me just update the game. Since it's not showing Path of Exile, update that, perfect. So we are level 20 currently, which is nice. Just continue here. Now I also started using Mirage Archer. So we have Rain of Arrows, Onslaught and Mirage Archer. Onslaught is super useful early on, before we can get our hands on an Onslaught Flask. This is the trial that you could do in here, but we're gonna skip that, since we already have them unlocked. Well, that was a dead end. So we should be going this way. Here's our movement speed flask. And Mirage Archer is going to continue using the skill that it is attached to. So once you hit an enemy with the skill yourself, it's going to stay up for a little while and continue using that skill. Now we're using a Rain of Arrows, since it has, let's pick up the Topaz. Since it has a nice AoE to it, while still being decent for a single target. And the Archer allows us to just simply keep on running while he finishes off any of the remaining enemies. So here in level 2 we're looking for a long corridor, which is this one. Level our gems. Now for skill alternatives you could also use, continue using Split Arrow. I prefer Rain of Arrows because it's just better for single target. And the other option you have is not Spectral Frog, sorry. It's Shrapnel Shot, which has a little AoE cone to it. Nothing good. So we're gonna deal with Fidelitas here. This guy does some lightning damage. Can be nasty. But our resistances are quite fine. I mean, pretty low. But it's enough. Now here again, once you grab the quest item, the Baleful Gem, we could use a portal, but instead we're going to simply log out, return back to town, and save a portal scroll. Talk to Groost and receive our first Herald skills. So we're going to take Herald of Ash first. Now, since we have finished this quest, all the other gems also become available at the vendors. So there's also Herald of Ice, Blood Rage, which we are going to be using, and anything else that we would want. I do already have a faster attack somewhere, yes. Let me just switch these. I'd rather have Shrapnel Shot here. We could be using Herald of Purity, but we wouldn't be using that for long, so it's a little bit wasted. We already have an elemental damage waiting here, so maybe let's pick up a Herald of Ice. So these two Heralds, and let's continue. Now I do not have a spare red socket for my Herald. We could try to... Let me see if I can get... what do we have here? Fire resistance. There's some lightning on the new helmet. I do have some spare helmets here, like this cone helmet with 3 red sockets. My gloves are fine. My helmet is trash. I mean, it's not trash. It's okay. Would I rather use this one or that one? I think I'm gonna go with this one. So we have two essences here, and what essences essentially are is, if we had an alchemy orb, we could straight up convert this item into a rare with random modifiers. Now, an essence is actually almost the same thing as an alchemy orb, but it guarantees you one stat depending on which item piece you use it on. Now, in the case of helmet, which is an armor, we would get 3 to 5 energy shield with this one, or 6 to 11 cold resistance. Since we do not really need energy shield, I'm going to use this essence on it. So we got some life, we got some cold resistance, a little bit and of extra armor, which is nice. So we will be using that. Now, I would also like to have another green socket on it for the other herald and preferably also blood rage. So we're gonna use a chromatic and hope for the best. Perfect. That's just super lucky. So Herald of Ice, Blood Rage, Herald of Ash. Don't need Shrapnel Shot as of now. Don't need the faster attacks here. Still a little bit starved on links, but we should be fine. Doesn't matter all that much as of now. So let's stash this belt in here as well. We're keeping the rings. Stash that, stash that. Now, as I mentioned in the first episode, you can sell armor scraps and blacksmith whetstones for wisdom scrolls. We are quite fine on wisdom scrolls as of now, so I'm going to hold on to this because we might be able to craft up a weapon later on or some armor, so I'm just gonna hang on to these. Don't have to sell them right away. Now we are going to go to the wetlands. Let's assign our skill point. Just going to go here. We're trying to go over this side to grab our elemental damage, as well as continue up and grab these accuracy nodes. Since our chance to hit is going to get lower and lower with each level that we gain, we have to pay full gem. We can now open the passage to the Vaal ruins. Quick sip of coffee. Now, with heralds, we have our Herald of Ice, which is going to give us a flat added cold damage. It deals 18 to 26 cold damage by itself when we shatter an enemy. Shattering happens when you hit an enemy with cold damage and you crit. The enemy is going to get frozen. If we kill it while it's in its frozen state, it's going to shatter. Shattering also has the nice benefit that the corpse of the target is destroyed. It's not so important right now, but later on some mobs might have something like detonate dead. If you've killed like a whole bunch in one area and some detonate dead guy comes up, it can pretty much kill you in an instant. So this is going to be handy later on. So we have 4 to 5 added flat cold damage. So let's put it over here. And we can see how this affects our damage. We go from 66 to 70, and then we can also activate our Herald of Ash. This one, on the other hand, converts 15% of our physical damage to extra fire damage. So it doesn't actually convert the physical to fire, but it just adds it as an extra. The other stuff is important for spells, but we are using an attack, so not all of the lines here apply to us. So we get 15% physical damage as extra fire, so let's activate that by pressing 2 as well. Now, we do not have all that much physical damage from our bow, so this didn't do that much, but once we kill an enemy, this enemy is going to erupt in fire basically and burn surrounding targets. Now with heralds and all other auras, as you can see, I have activated them, and then once I have activated them, I can just remove them from my hotbar just to save up space and maybe use some other skills that I would like, and they remain active. So you do not have to keep them on your bar. So let's just keep on going. There's this Imperial Flask, don't really need that. So already a lower tier flask. We do have a level 18 flask, which should serve us pretty well. There's a strong box, let's pop this open. Still continue on, don't need to kill all these guys. Just some extra mobs. Trying to rather focus on rare enemies. There's a chest. Rare enemies and blue packs. It's another rare. Wow, we get our first unique, which is unfortunately a melee weapon. Oh, let's open the door for the ghost. Maybe it will go inside the rare. Yes, perfect.
My spirit is spent.
So we got some boots, we got another chest and warhammer. Now, the way I have set up this build is that while leveling, we could still at any point, concentrated effect, very nice. We could at any point switch to being melee. Let me just clear this out and I will explain it in a second. Let's turn on Blood Rage. So what Blood Rage does is it gives us 5% attack speed. This will get higher with each level that the skill gets. 1.2 of attack physical damage leached as life. But we take 4% of our maximum life and maximum energy shield per second as physical damage. And we have a 25% chance to get a frenzy charge on kill. Now, if you're not sure what any of these mechanics do, as usual, you can go to the wiki and, for example, type in frenzy charge. And this will tell us that a frenzy charge gives us 4% attack speed per frenzy charge, cast speed, which is not of use to us, but also 4% more damage per frenzy charge. Your base count is free for all the charges, so we can get up to 3 frenzy charges right now, which is gonna give us some nice damage, so let's always activate it before we kill some enemies. It's gonna be nice on our Blood Rage. Now, as you can see, we're still going to continue to lose life, but we can just use our life flask before we kill some stuff. Since once we've killed them, we're gonna get the flash charges back. I'm collecting these random gems simply to be able to use them in a vendor recipe, as I showed you with the Onyx amulet. So I will not have to buy gems from a vendor. I should have probably gone this way. Sometimes you just have to backtrack. So we can maybe finish these guys off now. We actually got a Herald of Ash here. So where do we go? What the hell? Oh no. Is it this path? God damn it. Our movement speed is still not the greatest, so we can make some use of our blink arrow to speed this up a little. Kill these guys. Got us a flask charge. There's a nice rare pack. Let's check the boots. Nothing else. We'll get the transmute. I'm really getting screwed on layouts today, and yesterday as well. Not at all what I'm used to layout wise. Now I'm also not the best when it comes to just speed racing. It's the first time that I'm doing like a commentary while doing so I'm not paying attention to all the stuff that I should be paying attention to.
Well, this can't be good.
But we're doing fine. Now let us check some of this stuff, especially the chests, since ours is still a magic one. Nothing good on here. Neither on this one. How about this weapon? It's fine, I guess. Slippers. Well, these have 10% movement speed, which ours do as well. More energy shield and life. Let's see if we still...
Get my head around this one.
Okay, I cannot equip it because they need 42 intelligence. Now we do have a rare coral ring, which might replace this one, the second one. This is life and res. This is life and no resistances, but some main stats. So it's actually not really worth upgrading to this ring. Now we do already have a concentrated effect, which is very nice. It's one of the gems we're going to be using later on. We cannot use it as of now because our level is not high enough. Now here in the Northern Forest there are two exits. One leads to the Dread Thicket, which would grant us another respect point, I think. That's this one, but we're going to continue. Continue going at the side. There's a Grand Life Flask. Let's grab that. Going to continue to the right hand side. There's a bone bow. How's our bow looking? It's a nice attack speed and flat elemental damage, which currently should even be better than having a physical roll. The transmute. So, wow, they changed these layouts so much. What the hell is going on here? This exit used to be always like on the top right. So we probably have to go up here. There's another ghost. Let's see if we can get him to jump in there. Yes, we can. Oh, this is going to hurt a little, but we got rewarded with a quiver. Let's do some inventory Tetris and see if we can pick some of this stuff up. So I want to check the quiver. It has flat elemental, but ours also has life and physical attack damage leeched as life. So I'm actually going to stick with the current one. Anything else? There's a dagger and a stone hammer. Now this chest was crap, so let's check the hammer. 10% attack speed, physical damage, no. I'd rather sell the chest. So let's keep on going up, grab the alteration, grab the portal. I keep forgetting that I already have my blood rage, so let's use that.
I believe
Nice.
it's red and light.
I would really want the armor scrap. Let's go to town quickly.
Nothing like this.
Sell the stuff that we do not need. I will keep the nailed fist though. This is life and movement speed. Might switch to these. Some life regen, but 42 int might be hard to get. Let's check the boots. Only fire res. The ring was no bueno. It's fine.
Going.
This is 12, this is 18, same as ours, but we could try to get a better roll on here. Instant recovery rune on low life, this is decent. Attack speed, physical attack reached as life, which should be better than our current one. So let's switch to that. Maybe try to get a bleeding instead here. We got plus 15 charges, which is very nice, since it would allow us to use this flask 4 times. And we can throw an augment on it to see what else we can get. Extra armor. Yep, I will use that over this one. Now, we do have this unique claw. 25% increased attack speed when on low life. We are never on low life. Which is if you are under 35% of life. So we'll just stash that, maybe use it with some other build. And store these. We have our Herald here, which we don't need. Let's throw all these gems in there. Now this one I do want to keep, because we will be using it later on. Lightning tendrils, won't need these. I will keep the ring with me. Also, I will try to craft it with some cold damage, lightning resistance, super lightning resistance. Yep, so we can switch these two. This one also has lightning resistance, so we can sell this one now. Still have one essence to go. Or maybe once we can find some other stuff to use it on. Pick up this. This is a free link. Yeah, maybe let's take it with us. Another ghost. What's with the ghosts today? Last playthrough I got, I think, like 4 or 5 Quicksilver flasks before we reached level 20. Now we're getting ghosts. An oiled vest. I'll check that. So this is where we want to go. The caverns. We have 2 skill points available, so we're going to go for the elemental damage nodes here. Let's check the chest that we got. Dexterity, evasion ES, stun and fizz reflect. The life regen is decent. We will hold on to it, but it's not really an upgrade, especially since the colors of the sockets do not favor us. There's nothing we could use with those. We have a recurve bow here. Now I will hold off with crafting bows right now, because we are pretty close to Act 3 and we will pretty soon be able to get... oh wait, let's pick this one up since it's a free link. As I said, links are always super nice, and there's a rare amulet, very nice. So let's use our life flask and check this one out. intelligence. That's very nice. It has no life and no resistances, but we will be struggling to get intelligence, and this amulet alone gives us 41 intelligence combined. So I am going to use it, which also allows us to equip these boots. Some mini boss of this area. As you can see, he is chilled. Since we have hit him with cold damage. Let's check the Warhammer. Nothing special. And as I mentioned before, since we do not take any like specific nodes, nothing for dual wielding, nothing for melee attacks or withholding shield, we're just taking projectile damage. We are avoiding like these bow nodes in the start, because what this would actually allow us to do is use melee weapons with skills that use projectiles, like Spectral Throw, Frost Blades, and I think I stashed the other one, it's Molten Strike. Yeah, I stashed it. So if we would find like a super good melee weapon that would just outshine our bow, we still have the option to switch to melee and use that instead. But this is working nicely so far. So we just stick to the bow gameplay. Especially since Mirage Archer is really handy. But this is why I'm checking melee weapons here and there, or picking them up, not only to sell them, but also to potentially grab an upgrade. It just makes gearing easier, especially when you start off a league and you had like really bad luck with bows, but you found some good melee weapons. So we're just keeping the option of using something different, a different setup. Grand Life Flask, very nice. A 2-stone ring, it's also very good. This is gonna cover a lot of resistances. So if I were to find an alchemy, I might consider using it on a 2-stone ring. No. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope, nope. Let's go back. And through here. There's a blue pack. Kill these guys. Another 2-stone ring, very nice. There is another recipe that, and another one, that also might come in handy. Let's check these, they're all of the same type. If you happen to have 3 different 2-stone rings, so these ones that we have are fire and cold. Now if you find fire and lightning and cold and lightning, you can sell 3 different 2-stone rings to a vendor and you will get a prismatic ring back, which gives you 8 to 10 all resistances. So that's a nifty recipe that helps out capping your resistances, just at least makes it easier. Here we go, finally found the stairs to the ancient pyramid. Now in the ancient pyramid, navigation gets a little bit easier because you always the level in here is like a square, and if you start on the bottom here, the exit or the stairs to the next level are always going to be on the opposite side. Now we're in the top right corner, so we're just going to try and get over to this side. So probably have to go down here. Yep, very nice. Now before we go to the next level, because I think it's... no, we still have one to go, very nice, but there is a blue pack and a rare enemy here. So I'm going to kill these guys, grab the level up. On the scroll. Now we're in the bottom corner again, which means we're heading to the top. And we have arrived at the boss fight for the second act. Now I will portal to town here and just stash some of the stuff that we have found. Let's check this bow. It's not good, but it has links, so we're going to keep it. Now, this one is level 22, this one is level 20 and has only 2 sockets, which means I'm going to sell this one. Let me check this claw again. It has a super high fizz roll. That's 40, 35, 50. Okay, so it's not better than the weapons that we have. This one is 41. Let's check the owl. Nothing good here either. So we're just gonna sell this stuff. Keep the chest for eventual crafting. I have to remove this gem here so I can sell this chest. Keeping these rings as well as our 2 stones that we found. Ice Shot is also a really nice skill that we might consider using at some point. And again, for the Onyx Amulet, as I showed you the recipe for it, which we have here, is any amulet, a red, green and a blue gem, in order to get our Onyx. So I'm going to grab another one of these.
What do you want?
So just sell these 3, any amulet, and we get an Onyx Amulet back.
Return.
I am keeping these in order to be able to make our quiver. We do have life flasks, 3 life flasks for level 18. We are level 24, which actually should grant us access to the next tier of flasks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to transmute this one. It also got plus 18 charges. Let's augment it. Life recovery to minions. We're not using minions. Now, since we have 3 magic flasks, we can sell these to the vendor and we will get a magic flask back for the next level. I really hope that this is level 24. And it should be, yes. Movement speed during flask effect, okay. Can live with that. Now our Quicksilver still is not transmuted, so let's do that, and this is just perfect. We got 19 plus charges, and ideally late game, instead of elemental resistances, you would want to have an extra movement speed on there, which goes up to 30 as well, I think. So then you have a movement speed flask that grants you 70% movement speed. But for now, since we are really struggling for resistances, we are gonna use that. We also have a resistant flask here, which I could also transmute. Nothing really good. But it's always worth it to at least transmute your flasks to get some extra rolls on them. Ideally, you would want to have bleeding immunity on your life flask, or at least any of your flasks, just to be a little bit safer. Now, I wanted to stash this chest, since we're not going to craft it right now. Keep the stuff organized, sell this, sell that, since we're not using it anymore. The coral amulet we can put over here to use eventually for another onyx. Considering to use an essence on one of these rings. They are fire and cold, which are our lowest resistances. This ring only gives us 8 lightning and some life, so I am going to try my luck. 7 attack speed, some evasion, and ES. We're losing life, but we're gaining attack speed, which is really valuable. And we sort of balance out our resistances, a little bit at least. I do not need this mana flask, so let's just move this stuff in our inventory to keep it at least somewhat tidied up. Leave this, leave that. Let's go and fight the boss, allocate another elemental damage. Now this guy here has 3 different arms. Depending on what arm is active, he will do different stuff. This is the one that spawns minions. He usually despawns after that. If you are melee, you really need to watch out for his big bulky claw, because he will do a wind-up attack and then slam with it. And if you do not have a lot of armor and life, this can hurt or even one-shot you. Like this. That's the painful one. Also, if your resistances suck, the lightning beam can be pretty painful. What you need to do then is just run circles around him as long as he shoots his laser. The ice isn't that bad. Let's just kill him off. We got another bow. A shield. Let's pick up the belt since it doesn't take up that much time, space. Now here again, you can just simply log out, because since we've completed this act, we already are granted the waypoint to the next area, which is the third act. So I'm just gonna sell these for some more transmute shards, check the bow, some fizz, some fire, some cold. Yeah, this is some nice fizz damage. We will try it out. So let's go to Act 3, City of Sarn. Check what this does to our DPS. It's slightly better. Also, it has one more socket, so we're gonna use it. Now here in this first area we need to save Clarissa from the guards. There she is. There's one unique enemy in here, the guard captain. And here we actually need to wait for her to get up to talk to her. So we've done that. Let's continue. Blue pack, nice XP. Another bone bow, which I'm not going to bother with since we just got a little upgrade. And starting here. Come on, jump, jump, jump. What? No? Since if we check bow bases, and sort them by level, you can see that at level 28, which we're not that far away, it's just 4 levels, we are starting to get access to royal bows, which add 20 to 24% increased elemental damage with attacks. So I'm going to try and save up crafting materials for these. Increased critical strike chance is nice, but our critical strike chance is so low at the moment and we're not investing into it right now. What is it at? 6%, so that's like nothing. Now, once you enter the Act 3 town here, do not run all the way to the waypoint. You already have this waypoint, and we can actually just exit to the next area to do the first quest, which is find Tolman in the crematorium. So we're just gonna do that. Oops. We will get a waypoint in crematorium anyway. So that's when we will be able to go to town. Just speeds up the process a little bit. The Grand Mana Flask, let's take that. Can I jump down there? That would be nice, please. No, can't. No go. Sister core. Now, right now, I would really like to find a GCP, Gem Cutters Prism. I really have some of these rings. In order to be able to craft our unique quiver or use the recipe for it. Since we do have all the other parts that we need, definitely be a nice upgrade. So let's go to the crematorium. Inventory is still good. Get the waypoint. Now in here you will also have another trial that you can do in order to unlock your first labyrinth. But again, we already have that, so we're just gonna go through here and try to find Tolman. Heralds. Poor guy's being tortured. That's the screams that you could hear. I think we'd rather go this way. I'm by far no master of layouts. Some zones I do know, like little tricks
Didn't even break a sweat.
which indicate where you should go. Now, since the trial is here, which I can tell with this green door, I would rather continue to this side. There's another level. Can we continue over here? Nope, it's a dead end. Our first quality gem, 7% out of 40. Oh, it's actually a unique enemy who hurts a little bit. There's our quest. We'll pick up the rustic sash because it's a higher item level. What percentage does this have? 18. Here's a jeweler's. I will transmute it. We got frozen. So let's pick these little shits up. Jewelry is really nice to trade for, to pick up in order to sell it, just because it doesn't take up much inventory space.
That somber expression doesn't become those fetching features at all.
Here's Miss Patty.
Dance with me.
But we're going to dispatch. Tallman unfortunately didn't make it. We can log out here as well. Hand in the quest that we just did. Grab the keys to the sewers.
See you.
Talk to Gregor. Accept these quests. And here we get our first curses as well as some additional auras like hatred. Now I will be using Poacher's Mark here, since we also have a green slot here. And what Poacher's Mark does is it curses the enemies, and while they are cursed, we get life and mana on hit by attacking them, which is going to help with our sustain a little bit. Shut up. Shut up. And as well as granting us frenzy charges. So right now sustaining Blood Rage is a little bit difficult for us, since our leech is not that strong. So I would rather use the curse. It will be easier on mana, and we will also get some life back. So I will be only checking this iron ring for the physical damage. It has 17 lightning res. I'm not gonna care for that. And I did. Oh no, this is our old bow, so we can get rid of that. Also passive, and we now get this big note here for some elemental penetration, as well as increased elemental damage with flasks and attack skills in general, which is very nice. We stash the belt. We could actually try and craft this boy here. That's level 22. Ours is 25. Do I have an alchemy? I do not. Another transmute. Can I get an alchemy orb somehow? I cannot, but I do have a rare belt here with some resistances at 22. Let us check what role we would get. Oh, and in the blacksmiths, I do have a blacksmiths. So if we sell the blacksmiths, or this weapon and the belt, we would get one with 50%. That's like the lowest roll that it can have. So we're not gonna do that. Hold off on this. I could have made one of these magic after I have sold this one. But since the roll on the bow is actually so low, evasion, This one moves curses, so I'd rather stick to the curses one. Since it's so low, it's not really worth it. As we can see here, 50 is the lowest of the railroad that it can get, so it's not really something that we want or that is worth going for. So we'll just hold up on that. So in the sewers, we got the Victoria's Secrets quest, which requires us to find 3 platinum busts. Now, as you can see, it is marked blue, which means it's optional. And this will grant us an extra skill point, so we will be trying to do that. Now, depending on the layout here, you usually have the waypoint pretty close to when you enter our first 4 link. Excellent. Depending on where you enter, usually all the 3 busts are, you can find them after you reach the waypoint. But in some cases, probably this case that we just got here, you will be able to find one of the busts actually before the waypoint. So let's see what layout we got. Also, I should put my curse preferably here. Yep. And not forget to use it. Another ground mana flask. Which is good, because we now have 3, which means that we will be able to upgrade them. So here you can see the stash, which is where you find these busts. Take the belt, just to be able to vendor it. This is the passage that we need to unlock and to be able to get to this zone. As you can see, it's interrupted here, which means it's blocked. So let us just quickly grab the waypoint here. And continue. Here's our second stash with another bust. Let's just grab that. And the third might be to the right down here. Yes, perfect. Oh, I missed. Very nice. So we can head on out of the sewers now. What was that? Another 4 link. Very nice. Very, 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 very nice. So we do have 2 chests that we could craft up. It makes me happy, yes. It's good, I like. Oop. Head on to the marketplace. We do have a waypoint here somewhere, as well as a quest item that we should pick up while we are here already. We're going to get the quest for it in a few zones later on. But we really want to avoid backtracking. Here's an Orb of Chance. That's very nice. That's one part of the recipe. Now, as well as 2 essences. What do we have? We have an essence of woe, like woe, which hurts. So that's one thing. I'll actually take this for the chromatic recipe. And here we have a second one of sorrow. Level up is always nice, which lets us refresh our flasks. Take the broad axe. Yes, I thought I would be full. So let's play some Tetris. Now I would like to find the waypoint here, which should be, if we skip through this gallery, avoid this guy. And we will go to town here. Now let's check the essences that we got. +1 of sucketed cold gems on weapons, 13 to 17 dexterity on all other items, and this one's the elemental damage with attacks on quivers, which is nice. Other than that, it's energy shield or spell damage, so not really useful for us. Now this is an armor and evasion base, meaning that this one is more preferable to roll green and red sockets, which is what we would prefer, instead of this one, which is dexterity and int, and would rather roll green and blue ones. The color of sockets is determined by the base requirements for an item. So yeah, just as I said, this one requires strength and dexterity. Strength is red, dexterity is green, intelligence is blue. So if you have a chest like this that has dex and int requirements, it's more likely going to roll green and blue sockets. So we will sell off the stuff that we got here. We have 2 chromatic items. Wait, let us sell these first. 1 chromatic, 2 chromatic. As they are green, red, blue, and linked together, they will give us a chromatic orb. Now, I'm not gonna sell these, I'm not gonna sell that. Oh, this one removes freeze and chill. Yes, that's nice. Sell this belt, don't need that. Now, before I go and craft this one, I will actually chromatic it first. We got 4 green. That is fine. That is fine. This chest is really shit apart from the cold resistance. Do I want to use the alchemy on it? The essence. It's a shitty essence, that's my problem. Like if it would guarantee like resistances or stuff, I would use it immediately, or life. But we do not really lack dexterity, so it's a little bit wasted. I will transmute it, dex, armor, evasion, and use a few alterations. Lightning, dex, fire resistance. We are losing what? Cold resistance. I will be needing fire later on in this act, so I'm going to stick with the fire roll, maybe throw an augment on it, reflect, of course. Same shit as the other one, doesn't matter, we are going to be using it. So we can now swap in Mirage Archer, Rain of Arrows, Onslaught, and we grab our faster attacks here somewhere. There it is. Throw that in as well. Use the Siege Ballista with the Blink Arrow. We have some added fire damage on that. So I will swap these over to here and use the Siege Ballista Oh, goddammit, that's my herald. Oh, never mind. Do I have a red socket? I do not. Maybe we can try to get another red here. How many chromes do I have? 3. Well, let's pray. That's actually fine. I'm not using the split arrow, so I can put it here. I can put the ballista in here, the blink arrow into the bow, and use the ballista with the added fire. I will keep this here because this is needed for our recipe. We have a next level mana flask. Let's see what we get. It's knockback and some charge stuff. Don't really need that. So I will keep this as a backup. Maybe we can craft something better later on.
There you go.
Take the reward, which grants us a skill point and 2 respects. Sell the chest. Check what he has to sell. We do have another falling here. But it's a dex and intelligence base, which is not very helpful to us. Other than that, there's a 4 socket helmet, which is a chromatic. Not gonna get that. So, let's take our next 2 points, head on up here. We'll be going for the attack speed nodes next probably. Like all the way we have options. If you feel too squishy to grab left nodes here and here. This one is especially nice because it also increases the recovery rate from your flasks. But I'm feeling fine, so we're gonna go for attack speed and accuracy. Now also one thing you should keep in mind that when you are, the more skills you link together, if you read here, Rain of Arrows by itself has a mana cost of 8. Ours currently has a mana cost of 14 because each support gem on the third line it says mana multiplier 140%, meaning that the mana costs increase with each support gems that we add to it. Some are more expensive, some are less expensive, depending on how powerful they are. So we're not encountering many curses as of now, so we'll switch to the other mana flask. I do have an augment for it, which I will use. Increased mana recovered, which is fine. Not feeling like using this one as of now. It's 340 in 7 seconds. This is 336 in 10. I would rather have the slow regeneration. Now we do have a blue socket, but nothing to go in for now except concentrated effect, which doesn't do anything for our siege ballista, which is nice because we can level the gem without increasing the mana costs of the skill. Where do we go next? We did the quest reward. Right. Ebony Barracks, Solaris Temple 2. Right, we grabbed the waypoint on the marketplace, that was it. So these guys here. Kill those. Now we should be on the lookout for the other quest item that I mentioned, which we can find here. Faster attacks is really nice early on, also later on. So let's go. Here are the catacombs. Do I actually need those? I do not think so. And these also do not have a waypoint. You can check if an area has a waypoint if next to its name you see this round icon. So Catacombs doesn't have one. In here though you would find another trial for the labyrinth. So I'm not gonna go in there because we already have all the trials from our other character in this league. But if you're starting fresh, if this would really be a fresh league, I would probably go and do it right away so that I do not have to come back to it. Now the nice thing about faster attacks is that our Mirage Archer is now also going to attack faster once he's out. So this should speed us up quite considerably. It's gonna be probably up there. This looks fine. There's our exit, I hope, somewhere. Yes, here we go. Battlefront. Now we're going to take a slight left here. Grab the shrine. There's a blue amulet, which I'm going to take. Follow this riverbank to the left. I'm not quite sure if it's down there. No, it should be further up. So the waypoint here is usually close by. Here it is. As well as another quest item that we need. So grab the waypoint, and now we continue straight forward from here on the lower part of this area, so not on the higher up the stairs, but on the lower part, which should get us to the docks. Yes, wonderful. Now in the docks, things can start to hurt a little bit. There's a lot of enemies that are dealing fire damage. I could switch one of these rings for my fire res ring. It's 26 and 44 equals 70, which would almost cap us out. But since I do have the flask with elemental resistance as well as an elemental resistance flask by itself, I'm just gonna leave them as they are. We should be fine either way. So if you see that some stuff really hurts you, just try to identify what type of damage it was. Like in this case, it was fire. It hurt a lot. We got a pretty nice layout here, which allows us to skip quite a lot of these things here. Grab the waypoint now. I'm not gonna get out of the sun as of yet, because there is another quest item that we should get from here. Which I always have trouble finding. We have another essence. And a level up, very nice. What was this one? That's the light one. Very good. There's an artisan chest. Artisan chests give you crafting items. Wow, this guy. 2 rare rings, I will take the other jewelry stuff. Free-link gloves. What are our gloves like? Our gloves are fine. Boots. Our boots still suck, right? Yeah, so let's grab some booties. Let's go with belt since it doesn't take up much space, and that is it. Artisan boxes give you stuff that improves quality on items. And since we're currently on the lookout for a gemcutter's prison, let's take the shield since it's small and it's rare. It would be valuable to sell. There is a chance that we could get a gemcutter's prison from this. So, oh god damn it! Let me go to town first. Grab some more of this stuff just to sell it. Tetris again. Grab these. Grab that. Grab another one. Here's a 4-link blue helmet. Let's check that one first. It's not very good. It has more cold resistance though. Never mind, the stuff is getting sold, so let us go back to town. We can spend our point here. I will go with the accuracy and attack speed. So let's sell this stuff.
Still breathing, eh?
I will sell, no, I will not sell them unidentified. I will sell the blue stuff unidentified. In order to get as many transmutation shards as possible. Especially that. Here's an onyx that I'm going to keep. Not selling the rings because they are rare. At least not before I check them. Now this one is amazing. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. That's an amazing ring. What about this one? Cold and lightning and fire as accuracy as well. It doesn't have life, but these rings, man. So let's sell the belt. Anything else? We won't be needing these boys because we just got a bad boy. We'll check the Lapis amulet because it has int. Lightning damage and accuracy. It's worth considering. Sell this stuff. Check if we can get an alchemy orb. We did not. Doesn't matter. Put this in here. That's a quest item. Let's check the boots. Unfortunately, no movement speed, although they do have a nice life roll. I do not have another movement flask, do I? No, I do not. Let's keep them for now. Now this ring. Oh man. So I will probably replace the lightning one. Or the 2-stone. Is this 2-stone better? It's accuracy, fire, cold, lightning. Yes, so definitely this 2-stone replaces that. This is so good on resistance. Fire and lightning. Lightning. This almost keeps us out on fire. We would only need cold rest. Will I be needing cold rest soon? Yes, for piety. Oh goddamn. I really like the attack speed on the other one though. And it's fire and cold. God damn it, game. Such a good ring. I will use it anyway. Stash these 2 suckers. Save some space. Didn't this has cold res? No, it only has accuracy, which is good, but not right now. I do not have a scouring orb as of yet. This would grant us life. Do I need life in the foreling? What's my shittiest item? Probably the helmet. I will need these essences. I can use this actually as right away. Not that I waste them and then I do not have them for when I want to create my quiver. So I'm going to make these rare. Didn't get anything good. Apart some lightning resistance, lightning damage and lightning resistance. Yeah, we'll hold off on that. This ring, man. So tempted to use it. Cold and lightning. Lightning, I'm fine. I do think that this needs to go. How are we looking like that? I want to keep a sort of balance. Fire, lightning, yeah, we're really lacking cold res. Anyway, let's continue. So we got... Did we get everything from the docks? No, we didn't get the last quest item yet. Because I wanted to... That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a transmute. God damn it. Let's try and get a transmute. I can buy it from a vendor. Worst comes to worst.
Watch yourself.
So, how much is this? It's one regret. Okay. I'll buy a transmute from her. I do not need all that many portal scrolls, so let's buy another one actually.
See you.
We should get some returns from the chest if we get lucky. So let's see. Contains 7 additional items. 7 additional items is like one of the best rolls that we could have gotten. Now what I did here in order not to get frozen, yes boy, no GCP but a lot of scraps and whetstones. Does the ancient graffiti indicate where we need to go? Never sure in this zone. Grand Life Flask, Colossal Mana, very nice. Oh, it's the wrong side. It's gonna be at the end of one of these piers, but not sure on which one. It's another chest that we need to loot with a quest item. Down here, maybe? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Level that up. Actually, I have to be careful with this one because it's based on intelligence. Silver coin, quiver. How's my quiver? Let's check it. Fizz and some life might actually be better. 129, I cannot use it. It's level 28. Nice, one more level. We have a Vaals zone. Very nice. I'm gonna do that in a second. Actually, yeah, let's grab the quest item first, so we have all the space in our inventory that we need. Another Colossal, an Orb of Chance. Grab that. Head into the Vaal zone. Hopefully you get something good out of here. Now, as mentioned in the first part, I think we had a Vaal zone there. Vaal zones can drop corrupted items in the end, as well as Vaal version of skills. Vaal versions of skills actually grant you the regular version of the skill, like Ring of Arrows also has a Vaal version. And the way Vaal skills work is that you cannot use them all the time. You need to fuel them with enemy souls, so you need to kill enemies in order to be able to activate the skill. And they are like a little bit more powerful versions of the base skill that you had. So let's kill this enemy here. Superior Death Bow. And we got our first Royal Bow, which I really want. Even more fizz damage. This one is life. Let's move these flasks. What level are these mana flasks? Level 30. Let's check them. Let's grab this bow. And I would also like the other one. All the Tetris. So once you have killed the boss, you can click this Vaal vessel and hope for the best. We got the Vaal Ice Nova, which is not of much use to us. Do I have a blue socket here? As well as a Corrupted Brass Maul. It's a two-hander with a nice damage roll. At least for this level. I would like to take that with me. How do I do that? Can I... What if I move this to that? Can I drop it? Can I click on the docks, please? Can I? No. So let us check this bow maybe. Oh, it's just the base. Don't need the base. Let's take the more. Might keep this for eventually a second character. And now that we have everything that we needed here, I think. We got the quest item, also a level up right now. Yeah, let's go back to town. I will just stash them all here. It's a nice fist-based melee weapon. We do have our royal bow. Do we have... Ma'am, I need a rustic sash. But yours are shit. We do have 1 point, so more attack speed and accuracy.
What's going on?
Check what this guy has, because he should also have royal bows now. Some fizz. Not too many sockets on this one. It's the same as ours. Anything else? Another shark tooth, but I'm really short on transmutes, so I'm gonna skip that. Okay. Okay. So we did get our first quality gem, right? Which one was it? Yeah, this one. So let's put that aside. Not that I sell it by accident. We have another chance orb, which is very nice. We did get this bow, which should be better. Yes, it is. So we can sell that. Sell that too. Keep that. We can sell this one since it's outdated. Keep this. Keep that. These are for sale.
Come over here.
Yep.
Stay out of the shadows.
I would really like to switch to a royal bow, but I only have an essence of greed, which would grant us some life leech. Do I want that? I would rather transmute that sucker vendor recipe it with a rustic 1725. Let's check how much the item level contributes versus a high fizz roll on the belt.
Need something?
Shit, they need to be magic at least. God damn it. So this is not gonna work. Let's keep the bow. We have the rings, we have the flasks for level 30. This one was 24. But our mana flask still serves us well. Could start thinking about upgrading our life flask. We have a hybrid. Keep the rings, keep the essence, continue. I think we've done everything at the docks. Did we talk to Fairgraves? Yes, we did. Very nice. So now we can go back to the battlefront and we continue to the Solaris Temple. Now, if you get lost and you do not know where to go, you can click on the quest icons here, and apart from telling you what you need to do, you can see the path that it shows you. So let's keep using our curse. Apparently this guy is curse immune. Nice, 4-link gauntlets. It's also always very nice to have your highest link, especially for melee and range characters, or bow-based range characters, to not have your main setup in your weapon, because you will be switching your weapon as often as possible as soon as you get an upgrade. So what that allows you to do is have it on another piece of equipment and not mess up your links all the time. So let's go to the temple. Actually, since we found these gauntlets and I do have quite a few armor scraps, I'm going to quality them up. If an item is white and you use quality items, it's gonna grant it +5 for each. On a magic item, this would be only 2%, and on a rare and unique, 1%. So I only use 4 scraps for 20% quality, which just increases the armor and base evasion. It doesn't affect the stats that it rolls. But I will use the essence on these. Nice fizz, accuracy, really low life. I will use this over the other ones though, since we get a 4-link. Siege Ballista, added fire, we can throw an elemental damage support in there. Or actually, do we want a decoy? I could consider using the decoy totem. So let's go for the Solaris Temple. Grab our waypoint here. Continue to the second level. So we have 1, 2, 3 quests in there and another Vaals zone. Very nice. Let's go into that. Now, some people might say that it's not worth doing them. But once you reach endgame and you're in maps, these zones will not spawn. They can only spawn in the story mode. So I actually like doing them. We got faster attacks, very nice. Can use a second one right now. And here, oh, there's a rare enemy. Let's do that. Oh, it's one tanky bitch, and she hurts. What the fuck? Oh my god. Where's my ballista? There it is. Go. Kill.
Didn't even break a
A
sweat.
jewel. Very nice. I'll explain that in a second. In case we get something nice. Curse. Kill these boys. A chromatic item and check the vessel. Another Onyx Ball Haste, super nice. And a Ball Lightning Strike. Jewels are essentially physical damage with one-handed melee weapons, not really something we can use. Jewels you can socket into your tree if you path to and unlock a jewel socket. We will be getting some later, but since it's random when you acquire them, if this would have been like very good for us, they can also have up to 4 different stats if they are rare. Magic ones can have 2 stats. Then I would have considered spending the next point on getting a jewel socket, since it's nothing special and nothing that we can use. Just going to hold on to it. I can maybe roll it later and then consider using it. Giant life flask. Oh, that's a unique enemy, it seems. It does a lot of elemental damage, so let's use our flask.
My spirit is spent.
Yes, a spirit. Let's continue here. Open the chest. Another 2 stone. It's fire and lightning this time. Sharktooth. Blacksmiths. Don't need the large life flask. I will take the gem and the giant life mana. So let's throw these in there. I really like though that we have gotten haste, ball haste. I'm even considering, I'm not using Blood Rage much at the moment. I'm not gonna be using Spectral Throw. This was just for an option. Let's switch Pierce, throw in the haste in there. I will deactivate Herald of Ice because haste is going to reserve even more mana. And now I can use the Vaal haste version. What happened to my... Did I take out my Blood Rage? I did. That's what I wanted to do. So I will still have my Blood Rage. Haste. Yes, Herlovash, very nice. This will give us some attack speed, some movement speed, so it should speed us up a little bit. So as you can see, Mirage Archer right now can almost solo kill some of the enemies that we just passed by. In here we're gonna somewhere down the road encounter Brutus's little brother, bigger brother, sorry. Of anger, that's a fire res one, very nice. Click. Use flasks and kill. Another royal bow. Another royal bow which I want to take with me. So let's just sell this stuff here. We'll keep that one, keep that one. Just for the second. Keep the flasks. Keep the quiver in here. The conch effect, let's keep the gems that we're gonna use over there. So I do not mix them up with these ones. I can throw one or two alterations onto this jewel. Strength, lightning damage, maybe one more. Maximum life, dex and intelligence. That's decent to keep. Here's a corrupted onyx. More flasks. Colossal, level 30. All of them are level 30. This one's level 24. Life flask. What's with this life flask? Nothing. Burning. Yeah, let's do that over movement speed. And throw one at it, removes bleeding. Perfect. I do not need these gloves anymore.
Yes, what is it?
I think, yes, because I have 4 link ones. So sell these for a chrome. Won't need the fusings. Not needing the coins at the moment. We do have an essence to craft with. And our first Vaals skill is support here. Let's keep the Vaals skill over there. Fire and lightning. Jewelry, increased fire damage. Or some fire resistance on quivers. What does it add to weapons? 8 to 15 fire damage. That's nice. So I will risk it on one of these bows. This is level 28. Let's go. Wow. 50 fizz, fire, and fizz damage. Wow. Wow. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So this is going to be quite the jump. 144, 189. Very nice. Poachers. I should have another fast attack somewhere. Oh, it's in the ballista. So yeah, let's leave that. Check this box. Another 4 link. Scrappies. Let's check the boots because our boots are really shitty. 30 life. Nope. This bow. Wow. Valor. Very nice. But first, I would rather take a Junkard's Prison. Still wouldn't say no to that, so we can finally craft our unique quiver. Very much have preferred that.
My spirit is spent.
But beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Check the mana flask. Stun recovery, no. I would rather keep the freeze immunity. Waypoint. Continue straight. You can skip this if you have a movement skill. Talk to Diala. I will take the intelligence amulet as a reward. We get the talk. Let's check the amulet. Strength and int and fire damage and fire resistance. Wonderful. Let's go. So this should have pimped our resistances a little bit. Yes, and now that we have the talk, we can go to the sewers again. From here we can unlock the passage. And now we can continue to the Ebony Barracks, where we can kill General Gravicus. Hell, the General.
I can't do this just yet.
And get a nice reward for doing that. Also level up. Let's go. Just go straight and you will find him. Let's maybe get some frenzy charges going. Up the stairs. There he is. Drop our ballista. Now watch out for this guy when he does his right there. His molten shell. Because if you do not have a high enough fire resistance, this can hurt quite a lot. Now we have two passages to go from here. We can go to the Lunaris Temple and to the Imperial Gardens, and we will go to the Lunaris Temple first. Superior Royal Bow and the Royal Bow. Shit. Man, this bad boy. They're both with 24% though. Let's check the head armor. Sucketed minion gems, evasion, lightning. Nope, nope. We do have a magic.
I believe in traveling light.
Yes, you do. Let's continue to the temple. Regular gems. Grab the final note here. So our main hand chance to hit 95%. That's the maximum that you can have. I think I've already mentioned this in the first episode. 95% is your maximum. And if you're playing an attack-based build, you generally aim for at least 93%. If you can get 95%, that's awesome. Especially if you're playing a crit build. 92, you should be fine. But especially for a crit build, you want to aim higher, because the way that critical strikes work in this game is basically the game checks twice your accuracy twice. So when you attack an enemy with a skill, it will first check if the skill hit, and then it will check again if the skill was a crit. But on the crit check, it will also check the hit check as well. So it can happen that you score a hit, which would have been a crit, but you missed with the crit, so you just landed a normal hit. This is why accuracy is so important for crit builds. Now, there is a node on the tree which is Resolute Technique, where your hits can't be evaded, meaning that they always hit. But the downside to that one is that you never deal critical strikes. So basically you can skip all all the need for accuracy, but you sacrifice being able to crit. You might ask, yeah, how is this good, right, in any way? Well, often what people do is they go resident technique, meaning they cannot crit, and they partner this with here, elemental overload, 40% more elemental damage if you've crit in the past 8 seconds. No crit multi, no damage multiplier for ailments from crit strikes. So you can still invest into... No, wait a sec, you can't crit with that. Never mind, forget what I just said. Let's just continue. Level 2 is the largest temple.
Piety's home away from home. Let's see if the sick witch is in.
But this area always is always difficult for me to path through. It's really hard to find a way around here. Usually you need to find like stairs that lead upwards, so you know that you're going the right way. Like this part here, always try to head up. Don't need death bows, need royal bows. On the staircase, very nice. Now watch out for these titty bitches, because they can also really hurt if they gank up on you with their projectiles. Once they have decided on a direction to shoot, they will not change it until they stop firing. So you can kind of trick them, bait them into a specific direction and just evade it then. Staircase, wonderful. So we have 2 cards here, 1 card here. You see these cards? There's 1 and here is 2. The side with 2 cards will be blocked, so we always want to go to the side with 1 card.
I think it's time to shed the green coat. It's a little tight around the collar.
A sapphire ring. We're actually fine on rings. Now for the upcoming boss you will need 2 resistances, which are cold. Oh, actually this is the first one where you need all 3. You need fire, cold and lightning. Our resistances are fine-ish, because we do have the flask that grants us 35, but we only have 2 uses on that, so we need to use it wisely.
I can't do this just yet.
It's another blue pack. I will drop a bottle here just to sell some stuff. I don't need this bow anymore. I do want to keep that one. I do also want to keep the full plate since it has 4 links. Still not sure what to do about this helmet. It's nice evasion. Doesn't have life though. Boots only life. So keep the belt.
You're looking sharp.
Right, but it was a good call. We went back to town. Do we want to keep the... No. because we have our reward for the general, and here we get two things. One thing actually, which is Blast Rain. Now Blast Rain is the next skill that we're going to use. Just let me figure out what to do with our skill points next. I'll do that in a second. Blast Rain is a super nice single target skill. And since we have a boss fight coming up, I will switch it. Where will I want to switch it with? Siege Ballista. So we have Blast Rain, added fire, added damage, faster attacks, yes. So I want Blast Rain as my main attack. And do I need anything else? I will put Rain of Arrows on my middle mouse. Oh, I'll put it on E. The middle mouse would be Ballista. Link Arrow, Poacher, Bloodrage, Haste, Herald, Ice Nova. Don't really need the Ice Nova, but never mind. Basically, the way Blast Rain works is it fires multiple projectiles which explode close to the area, and this damage can actually overlap on enemies. So it's really good for single target, because compared to Rain of Arrows, these spread out quite more. So you can see it's almost double the damage that Rain of Arrows would do. And what we also can do now is shoot with our Mirage Archer setup once,
I shall cherish your memory.
just to have Mirage Archer up, and then go to town with Blast Rain. Now when she goes into her ice form, you can hide behind these pillars. These ice spears will hurt a ton. But our damage seems fine. Another ice phase. Where is she? You need to watch out, because she likes to port around. So let's drop that, drop a Ballista, and kill her. Hopefully. Where is she? Another Ice Spear phase. Where are you? Come here. Don't teleport, you bitch. Okay, we got an antique rapier, and I know what it is already.
Sorry, beautiful, but someone had to put a stop to all this ugliness.
Just quite a nice leveling weapon for a melee setup that we could do. We can actually log out here to go back to the Sarn encampment and save a portal scroll, since we have defeated Piety. Bargain? No. It's gonna be Krieger. Give me my reward.
Bye.
Krieger. So that's another skill point. What level are we? We are level 30. That's a bit early for that. We have 2 skill points to go. We have 609 life, which is not the highest. I am considering to invest some life nodes. Probably should do that. Yeah, let's grab some life. Have a big life node next. And idea or unique, which is really nice. Attacks chain an additional time when in main hand, or attacks fire an additional projectile when in offhand. This is really nice. Also 48% increased elemental damage with attacks. The base damage isn't that high. It's 89 fizz, this one's 35. But this is a really nice leveling weapon. Which we might consider using for some setups. Frozen spectral copy. Trying to figure out which weapon type this uses. And it only says melee weapon. Frost blades, do these require just a melee weapon? Okay. Where did I put my Molten Strike? Did I sell it? Keep the Ancestral Call, also the Ancestral Protector. Those are nice. Let's check what gems we could use. Haste, Hatred. Don't need the Purities. Double Blade, Fury, Blast Rain, Scourge, Arrow, Tectonic. Let's check the first act because I think that we got some skills from here.
Yes.
Here's another skill point that we forgot to pick up. Once you... I'm sorry, I completely forgot about that. Once you have opened the passage in Western Forest, you can go back to Act 1 and grab your skill point from Vestal, which is actually quite handy right now, because it allows us to grab this big node.
Hello.
Also, Nessa, Molten Strike, please. It's already level 9. Might still grab that though. Yeah. Let's get one. It's just one wisdom scroll. I hope I didn't have one already. No, I did not.
Hello.
So let's just sell off this stuff here. Still need transmutes. Let's check this one. The moves shock. No, thank you. Wait a second. Power ring. Check the cold ring. No.
Take care.
I'm keeping the flasks because I might want to upgrade. These are level 30. Evasion rating. Let's try on the blue ones first. What level am I? I am 30. Perfect, so I could use them now. I only have 3 transmutations though. Alterations. This can use an augment. Block and stun recovery, no. Elemental resistances. Charges when you take a critical strike, no. Increased charge recovery is nice. Let's see what we get. Burning damage. This one is shock. I would rather still stick with my old flask. But I'm keeping these because I can sell them 3-to-1 for a higher one. Now, the next thing I would want to upgrade is my life flask. And for that, this one's 24, 18, 18. Do I have another level 18 flask? I do not, but I have a colossal for level 30. So let's maybe try and get something good here. It's just poison. So stash the scraps. This should give us another transmute and another alteration, which we'll use here. Charge recovery, last augment, burning. I would have really hoped for removes bleeding. Now I will value this a life flask higher than having a utility flask. Is nice. creates a smoke cloud which blinds enemies, reducing their chance to hit us. But I would much rather have a life flask for shit situations, especially since we are going to do the lab very soon. And 2 flasks can be handy when it comes to the traps in there. Now, concerning this weapon, it only has 1 socket unfortunately, and I only have 1 jeweler's. Thanks for an additional projectile when in offhand. So I would need a higher... Wait. Molten ball launch far from your weapons when these explode, causing AoE attack damage to enemies where they land. So this is also a purely melee skill. Yeah, let's just stick to bows. We really have a very nice bow. There's no need for these shenanigans. Really nice bow. And we're doing fine, so there's no need to complicate stuff.
You're right.
What do you have on sale, mister? No special links. Free link. Oh.
Stay out of the shadows. They bite.
Do I want to do something with these? Do I have a rare one? I do not. Really starving for alchemies. I might sell that though. How much base damage does this have? 40, it's really low. Oops, no, don't destroy. Oh god, I'm an idiot. Don't destroy, I destroyed them. Yeah, that happened. So now, we're going to do the Scepter of God. So let's do that. And to get to the Imperial Gardens, you just go to the right from the waypoint. Blast Rain is going to wreck these guys. I would really love to get my quiver now-ish. So we still have our Rain of Arrows set up, which grants us our Mirage Archer, but we can, in addition to that, use Blast Rain now for some nice single targets. Ball area again, which of course I'm gonna do.
My spirit is spent.
Man, last run is so nice. Gotta love it. Just destroy stuff. It's nasty. Die. Die. Another level 30 flask. Very nice. Let's check this one. Bronze scale gauntlets. 20 lightning, some life. Ball blade vortex. God damn it. Why didn't I play blade vortex? A decorative axe. Nice attack speed. Nice elemental damage on it. With fizz. Let's take that. Also a shield with movement speed, attack speed. What is happening? Anything else that I missed? Gilded axe, that's a two-hander. Do I want the rustic? I do not. Let's go. So we're approaching the Scepter of God, and oh, there's a unique enemy, and at the end of it, we will encounter Dominus. Let's grab the waypoint here, and from here we can go to the right and follow this little paved road, which should lead us to the entrance. Now, in here, if you go to more to the top part of the map, you will find the hedge maze. I'm not sure if it's still called the hedge maze. It used to be an additional area, but they merged the areas here into one. Where you will find another trial that you can do for the labyrinth. Now, we are still holding off on the labyrinth. I would rather kill this boss first, then do the lab, get a few more levels, maybe find like 1 or 2 upgrades. Don't want to rush lab. We have no reason to. So we open this gate here. As well as there is another thing that we can do. Let me just drop a portal. Because we will go in here first.
Climb the tower, kill the Mad King. Just like the stories my mum used to read to me.
We'll go in here first and try to find the waypoint, and then we can come back to it. Because we can do another side quest, the Swig of Hope, which Fairgraves asked us to do. And what this will allow us, I think it will give us an amulet. Wow, boys. Please, relax. There's our stairs. Now, this area you really should slowly start to cap your resistances. These boys are going to shrek us with lightning damage. We actually got these gloves with lightning. Let's check this chest. Life and lightning, no fire though. So the decision is going to come down to whether... Where did I pick this up? Oh, it's a chromatic, that's fine. Which foreling I would like to lose. Like, this one has more resistance, which would almost cap us, but we lose the blast ring setup. I could put blast ring in here. Siege ballista, blink arrow, or try to find better boots. Or try to find better boots with more sockets. So I think this is going to be the plan, is to check vendors whether they have some boots for us that have more sockets and which we could craft up a little.
I can't do this just yet.
So there's our next level. I'm not quite sure if the waypoint is on this level or on this one. Never quite sure about that. I think it's here. I think it's one level before you reach the upper Scepter of God. Yes, it's up there. So if you can see here, we are in the Scepter of God, which grants us the waypoint. So let's actually go back. Let's go back. Let's use our portal since it's still up and try to do the side quest. which could have also been down there. Not really sure. Yeah, probably was at the beginning. So that sucks. Let's use the waypoint. Imperial Gardens, please, here. How long are we running? It's 2 hours and 20. So let's grab this point. Let's do this side quest. And I think I will cut this episode then. But let's do this first.
My spirit is spent.
Oh, still wrong. God damn it. So this to the left from the waypoint. We need to remember that. Left to the waypoint. So let's go left here. There is another area that you can reach through here if you follow this road there, which is called the library. And in the library you can do a quest for a guy named Siosa. And what this will allow you to do is once you have completed his quest, he will actually become available as a vendor, and he has every single skill gem available for sale. So if there's any skill gem you want that is somehow hard to obtain for you, you can always do the library quest and get it from Siasa. Where am I going? What the fuck? I said the F word, sorry. Bruh. Bruh. It's not gonna be there, because that's where the trial is. I mean, you can always do this later. Doesn't matter all that much. But I would have liked to grab the reward for it. I think this should be right now. Or not. F. Where the F? There it is. God damn. Finally. And a superior flask for it. Let's grab the plum. That's GTFO. Now we can go to the docks. The docks here. Talk to Fairgraves again. He's gonna life. I don't need the gold ring. I don't need the mana. I'd rather take the life ring. Dex, double life, mana, cold res. Eh. Anyway, we still have a point to spend. Where do we go next? We could finally start investing into these bow nodes, but these are crit, so it's not gonna help us all that much. I would rather continue straight. Yeah, let's do that. Skip the script notes for now. Let's go straight up. And we have Scepter of God. Let's clear out our inventory. Sell that stuff.
What's going on?
I will keep this axe,
Stay
as
out
well
of the
as
shadows.
this shield. It's really not that bad. It has attack speed, evasion life. Might use this on another character. This axe is also decent. Now the consideration is between these two items. You can sell that. This can go here. Will not use the vortex, unfortunately. This is a really nice skill as well. We have 2 colossal flasks, 1 even with quality. I'm really starved on transmutes. Anything I can do about that? Not really. Let's check what Hargan sells in terms of gloves. Gloves or chests? No forelings, unfortunately. Gloves only for sockets. Quality fish scales. Which one would we prefer? This is super high lightning resistance. This is lower lightning resistance. Within, these are going to be tough on intelligence on the requirement. This one we could equip straight off the bat. So the life is actually the same. We would lose damage, but we would gain a lot of lightning resistance. So how about chests? This one has also int requirement, not really any socket wise. Let's check those second act vendors. Maybe we find something here.
Hello.
Just 3 links. There's a chromatic item. Nope. Check these. We didn't miss anything here.
What do you want?
Didn't miss anything there. So that is it, guys. I'm gonna call this episode here. I hope this was helpful to you. Now, if you want, I can post the recipes that we have went through this episode once again. So we have used our crafting recipe for physical attack weapons. Or actually, we didn't get to use it because we found a really decent one. But in case you're struggling with a weapon, this is what you could use. And we are still working on finding a gem cutter's prism to be able to get our unique quiver. But I'm sure that we will get there very soon. My name is Laskava, and I will be back with the third episode. Until then, I need to grab some food, have something to drink. My mouth is dry as the Sahara, and I will catch you in the next one.